Hey everybody, it's Lou with the Intelligent Community, the podcast of the Intelligent Community Forum, the soul of the city. Well, today this is a big day for us, part of our trilogy of conversations with the cities that are going to be hosting this year's awards conferences. Brightlands-Limburg is where we are today, and they're the host of the global conference in June when we name our top 7. And I have to admit, just candidly, it's one of my favorite places in the world. And so if I show some bias, please forgive me, but also you have to be there to see what I'm talking about. This is a region in the south of Netherlands with over 1.1 million people. It's a remarkable engine of innovation. It's an ecosystem of ecosystems, as they say. There's actually a company there that produces, and my hosts or my guests will correct me, 80,000 beef burgers without killing a single cow. And that's true. You can ask Time Magazine and Statista, which just named them the 10th best company in the world, reducing environmental impact. That's just one thing that's going on over there at those innovative campuses. The whole place, as I said, was a well-kept secret, or was until last year, when it broke through and was named one of the ICF's Smart 21 intelligent communities. And now everybody is talking about Brightlands-Limburg. The conference that we're going to be at is June 15th through 17th. And it will start with a VIP site visit to facilities, and you'll meet startups, and we'll be in the city of Maastricht. On the 16th, that's a Tuesday, will be the main conference day, and that's always great. And then June 17th, there'll be the conference day and the Top 7 awards luncheon at their convention center and the Limburg government building. So what we're seeing is an intelligent region forming, and Brightlands-Limburg now is sort of the new star in that constellation. And so I've got 2 stars with me today, 2 of my friends from there. Ronald Otten is with me. Ronald is the brand manager of the Brightlands Initiative. He's a strategy advisor, and he's driving the development of that Brightlands-Limburg initiative, as I said. And Brightlands is the banner under which this southernmost province of the Netherlands positions itself. And he'll tell you why that is. Also with me is Maurice Olivers. Maurice is the manager of public relations for the Brightlands Circular Space, a phenomenal area that you'll see. And again, he'll tell you what that actually means, a circular space. He has a background in law, proven track record across academia, innovation ecosystems, societal organizations. He is just a delightful human being, but also a Renaissance man as well. And I enjoy spending time with these 2 guys, and I can't say enough about what I've learned in my time and my exposure to Brightlands-Limburg. Gentlemen, welcome to the intelligent community.
Thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome.
Well, I mean it. I mean this. I know this is a promotion, but I just, I told Stefan Satine when I was there. I said, if you guys want to, have an apartment for me, I'll show up. I'll have a home there. But let's talk about Brightlands-Limburg. As I said, it's the host region for the Top 7 announcement this year and the conference in June. And as I say, I think it's one of the best kept secrets in the world. But yes, the secret is out. But again, for people who don't know that region, Maurice, why don't you tell us a little bit about Limburg? And then, Ronald, I'm going to ask you about the Brightlands Initiative in particular.
Yeah, we're happy to share a little bit of our main characteristics. It's a region which is really unlikely where it's other in the Netherlands. So instead that you, as Netherlands is known for flat boulder landscapes, you find in Limburg the rolling hillies and also a Burgundian atmosphere. And yes, very historic cities, like, for instance, Maastricht. And Maastricht is also famous for the signing the Maastricht Treaty and the introduction of the euro coin in 1992.
which you can
So
actually
this is
see. You can
really
actually see the treaty. You guys
you
have it
can
there.
see the treaty.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the treaty, and it's really well exposed in the House of the Province. So we have a strong Burgundian culture, and that has to do as well with our geographical position in Europe. So we are very close to the borders of Germany and Belgium, and that makes that Limburg has quite an international outlook and also collaboration. So we are used to cross borders very easily. It's our second nature. And it also has been a long place of Limburg has been a place of reinvention.
Yeah.
And after the decline of the coal mines in the mid 70s, the region transformed itself again. And in fact, into what we are probably now, a center of science, knowledge, high tech industry, and that in fact that transformation is now embodied into Brightlands, and maybe Ronald can elaborate a little bit on the brand of Brightlands in this perspective.
Thank you, Maurice. And just again, geographically, you located us, right? We've got Germany and Belgium within a stone's throw, as they say in the United States, very close to one another. And you actually collaborate on science projects like the Einstein telescope, which is a remarkable project. And you'll hear about that when you get there. So, Ronald, the Brightlands name, where did that evolve from? Because now we're talking about Brightlands-Limburg.
Yes, well, I think Maurice mentioned the closure of the coal mines, which was quite a devastating blow to the society in Limburg in the 70s. And on top of that, let's say closure, we in 20 years, I think, rebuild ourselves in a way that we have a new industry now, which is based on chemical. So on top of the coal mines, we built a big chemical plant. It's one of the biggest, the largest integrated chemical sites in Europe.
Right.
And it sums up about 1/3 of Limburg's economy. But we also learned from our history that if you lean too much on one industry, that's a big risky. So about 10 plus years ago, government, regional government, university, and some companies got together and said we need to take our future in our own hands. So we need to make sure that we find the next step for our economy, the next step for our society before someone else decides what our future will be after chemical. And that's where Brightlands was born. And it has been used as a brand name for 4 innovation campuses, which we established across the province. And the concept of Brightlands is all about bringing science and bringing knowledge towards places where there already is economic activity. So, for instance, we build an innovation campus in the heart of that chemical plant. The chemical plant is called Camelot. It's over 200 companies, 60 plants. But in the heart of it, we've built an innovation campus which is meant to, let's say, reinvent chemistry in such a way that it will become circular and sustainable. And so that's one of our campuses. We have 3 more. We have also one at Maastricht near the University Hospital, which focuses on medicine, medtech, regenerative medicine. So curing people with new cells, for instance. We have a 3rd campus, which is all about AI, which is in Heerlen, other city in the southeast of our province. And then we have our Brightlands Greenport campus in Venlo, which you already mentioned, which is all about food and healthy food and food tech. And that is close to a horticulture cluster, which was already there. So we brought campuses, we built campuses at spaces where there was already some economic development in a specific area. And we tried to build ecosystems around them. And from that perspective, we are now building the ecosystem of ecosystems. Because if you connect a chemistry a campus to a health campus, then you get all new possibilities in terms of medtech and food tech. Same goes if you apply AI to food, you get all new kinds of possibilities in food tech. So that's what we are trying to build now, an ecosystem of ecosystems. And from that, we are trying to build a brand which is more than just the name of the 4 campuses, but is in fact the name or the brand of the innovation community of Limburg as a whole.
Yeah. And as you say, I think you gave us a really nice snapshot of how an ecosystem of ecosystems is formed and what there's a strategy behind this. In addition to all the innovation that goes on around it, it's going around it based on a strategy. I have to ask you, Ron, are the children and grandchildren of the coal miners from the 60s and 70s, are they still there, or did they leave the region to take occupations other places?
Well, many of them are still here, and they are still working here. They are now working at either the chemistry or any other industry, because we have, of course, more than just chemistry. But also on the campuses, we see students which are the grandchildren or the grandchildren of the old coal miners. Yes, they are still here. And on the other hand, it's a big challenge for our region, and I think it's for all developing regions to attract talent and to keep talent, and to be attractive to talent that's born here as well, and to show them that the grass is not always greener somewhere else, but we have a lot of things to offer ourselves. And that's part of establishing a brand in the way we are trying to do that as well. It's a lot about attracting and keeping talent, and connecting talent to challenges and connecting talent to opportunities in terms of the innovation campuses and what we develop there.
Yeah, and it's part of what we see in the intelligent community movement. One of the things that I am actually most impressed by or proud of is that we see people staying in place as industries change, as the economy changes. Obviously, we're seeing it in Vietnam, where people are actually coming back into the country, into that city of Bin Jong and others, because now they see the possibilities. They see a new day. Maurice, a lot of what you do, working with the circular economy, is critical there, because that's going to be fundamental to new industries. And as Ronald said, when you overlay it with AI, you're going to be seeing things that we haven't even imagined yet. The innovative life of Limburg, of Brightlands-Limburg, impressed me the most. There's innovation sort of in the soup there. It's everywhere. How do you manage that? How do you manage that level of innovation?
Yeah, in fact, we choose for a model, and we did not choose to do this just spontaneous. We made a design for our economic development, for our knowledge development. And that design, of course, we looked to other bright areas in the world and try to learn from them and see and test and experiment what can work in our region. And this is, in fact, the basis, the fundament of the model, and also about the success of Brightlands so far. And that has to do with some focused specialization, as Ronald also pointed out, the 4 campuses. So we're looking for specialization, and that specialization that has a basis, a fundament already, because in the past there we are a kind of really well known because of knowledge in chemistry, but also knowledge in health, in food, and not AI because that's new, but how to deal with new smart services, for instance. So that was an industry that is also transforming itself. So those 4 anchor points were, in fact, the focus specialization of the region. Another angle is, of course, the Triple Helix Corporation. And the Triple Helix, we mean that government, knowledge institutes, and companies join together, and they do this very intensively. So you must know that all the 4 campuses, in fact, are run by a Triple Helix Corporation. So university is involved, the province is involved, and a big company is involved. And together they made that innovation work. Another one is, of course, and there also Brightland stands for the openness, for open innovation.
Yes.
So
Yes.
an open innovation model, and that there we combine the facilities that we share. So we have shared facilities that can be used by students, but also by startups, by scale-ups, by corporate companies, by researchers, and that is very nice to see. And when you come to our region, we can show you that combination of people is working together on the same project, and
Yeah.
that is what we believe, that's the open collaboration. And last
And
but
you
not least,
and
but
I have to say,
last but
people
sorry, yeah.
people will see that. People will see that. I mean, it's not something you'll bring them into a room and talk about it on a PowerPoint slide.
Oh
You'll go
no,
into the circular space. You'll
they
go
see
into
the
these places.
facilities.
Yeah, and
Exactly,
it's
they see the
right, and it's
facilities
very real.
and they see
Yeah,
the
this,
yeah. So together they are working on, for instance, making materials circular or whatever, because and so we have some institutes which were also raised because that we would like to have them collaborating. So collaborating with others and share their facilities, and that really works. Um, and I was last but not least, another element is that there is a strong regional governance as well, and
yes,
by that I mean that the in particular province of Limburg, but also the university set commitment for a long term. So they invest together for a long term, for again more than 10 years after each other. And so this combined with a very strong strategic direction, makes this model really to what it is now. And I can say that you mentioned, I guess, also that what you have seen, it's not just the quality of life, where our region is very famous for,
hmm,
but also the quality of innovation life. And
yes,
I guess that's really what we are working on every day.
it is. And Ronald, just to pick up on where Maurice ends there on the quality of innovation life, innovation can't stay inside a building, right? Or it just can't work itself out into a public corporation and the shareholders benefit. And you'll create 500 jobs or whatever. That's not a bad model, but the best model, the intelligent model, the soul of the city, is when it works itself out into the community, right? When this stuff
Yeah.
starts to filter into the social fabric and everyday behavior of people in business and whatever people do to fulfill their own destinies. I sensed that when I was there, but it's not always something you can put your finger on. Have you ever put your finger on
Yes and no, because it's an interesting question. Of course, I think it has several layers. So our challenge has been to first develop the campuses as we described them to you now, and the second phase was to make sure that innovation don't stay within the let's say the gated community of a campus. And that first means that and that's still a process that we are in today. It means that we have to connect companies from outside the campuses and institutes from outside the campuses to the initiatives on site of the campuses. So just open the gates, make it a community which is bigger than the 4 campuses itself. And I think that's still a bit of a challenge because, there are a lot of companies doing great stuff within the province who are not on a campus, and they have to feel somewhat connected to what we do on the campuses as well, as they have their own communities and their own way of life. And we still have to find the right connection sometimes, but we're getting there. And societal, I think what's really important is that you make sure that a lot of the benefits that you get from the innovation that we have here also is of value for people in the region itself. So, for instance, we are working on, you mentioned the Einstein telescope, which is a huge project. Let's say beside of the campuses, it's a big, let's say, scientific instrument that we're trying to attract for our region which will be used to measure gravitational waves. And that allows us to look into the early existence or the early processes of the universe and therefore our own life.
Proving
Look it up.
Einstein's theory.
Einstein's theory, yes. Look it up on Google, Einstein telescope. You'll be amazed. Yeah. We are in competition with other regions to get that instrument within our region. But already now, we see small and middle-sized enterprises working on solutions that are needed to actually be able to build that instrument either here or anywhere else in the world. So the fact that you are in the center of innovation in terms of trying to develop that instrument, trying to get it here, think about it, how will it work? It will be 200 meters underground. What do we need? We need 10 by 10 kilometers of tubes, which will be used to guide laser beams. It's a lovely innovation. It's big science with all capitals. But
and you're developing new types of tubes, as I recall. When you're
they are already now working that. So they're now working on a technology that will be used to be able to weld tubes 200 meters underground. And that's never done before. It's new, and it's what they are able to develop because we get the big innovations possibly here. So we already have, let's say, it already gets into society. It already is some people's jobs to be working on solutions for an instrument that's not even there yet.
Right.
So that's how you can make innovations which are maybe 5, 10, 20 years away already of value today, because this company, one way or the other, will benefit from this. Even if there will not be an Einstein telescope in this region, they will have evolved and invented new techniques, which they will be able to use anywhere else. Yeah. And just one example.
It's extraordinary. And kids will be able to say, hey, where I come from, we figured out how gravity works. No big deal. We're all very smart there. But I mean, that's such a sense of pride, right?
It's good you mentioned kids, because we are looking into it from a, let's say, a scientific perspective, from a business perspective, but we already have also an Einstein College, which is now doing programs to educate kids on this theory and maybe get them interested in being part of the community that will actually build the thing. So that is also something that is really, gets into the fabric of society, even from such a big science type of innovation.
Yep. Again, it's, for a young person to be able to claim that because of where they come from is extraordinary. It's, New York has the cheese pizza. You guys have the Einstein telescope.
There's nothing bad about cheese pizza. If it's good cheese pizza.
It's a source of pride. It's a source of pride. Speaking of food, I know I've kept you a little bit longer, and Ari's giving me the flag here, but this is for her. This is for our producer. Would one of you just explain briefly Mosa meat? Because I alluded to it, the 80,000 beef burgers. What is it? And why is it remarkable?
Well, Mosa Meat is a company which has developed a technique to make cultured meat. So they take a few stem cells out of one cow. They pick the best cow in the world they can find, and then they take out the stem cells and they grow them in the laboratory. And out of these stem cells, they grow burgers, so meat. And so they are able to make, as you mentioned in the beginning, 80,000 hamburgers out of just 1 or 2 stem cells. And it's early technique. The first one they made, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, Maurice, maybe even longer.
Longer. Yeah.
I think it costs 250,000 euros to make one hamburger. But they are
that's without the ketchup.
Yeah. It's without anything on it, no toppings.
I guess it is 10 years ago.
10 years it was, yeah. It took some time to evolve, but now they are at the brink of mass production and at reasonable prices. Yeah,
they are. It's incredible. It's an incredible process, and I have to say that I did taste it. And it's not cheese pizza, but it's fine.
I know.
It's good. It was good.
It's good. And interesting thing, talking about innovation. From the same company now comes a new company which uses similar techniques, not to make meat, but leather. For shoes, handbags, clothing, furniture.
I knew they were working on that.
So from innovation, you can create innovation. From new products, you can develop new products. That's
And
the
I
whole
remember,
chain.
and I remember the head of the project telling me that when I was there. And he's an interesting story too. And I can't remember his name, but this is a great story about Limburg and its future. As I recall, he said to me, "I only planned on coming here 4 to 6 months. That was it. I came onto the campus, said, man, I'll be back home in half a year." He's been there, what, 5 years now? 6 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the leading guys there. Yeah.
I mean, that speaks for itself in terms of the quality of the place and you know why. And he's a young guy. He's got a family, and he's thrilled to be there.
And we are really looking forward to showing it to, of course, all the people who will be attending the Top7 Summit in June. And like you said at the beginning, we are planning a 2-day conference, which is on both days, let's say plenary stuff like panels and keynotes, but also site visits. So we don't do a split in 2 days with panels on one day and site visits on the other. We integrated them. So it gives people a unique opportunity to actually visit, for instance, the chemical plant and spend the day there and see what innovations are being developed there. And then the second day, we will move to Maastricht and then, for instance, look at Mozambique and the Einstein telescope.
Oh, we are going to see Mozambique.
Yeah, I think people will be joining from Mozambique in the program. Yeah.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrific.
We won't be able to go there, but they will join. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Good. They're absolutely worth talking to. June 16th and the 17th are those 2 days. Plenty of time to get there. Book your flight. I'm telling you, you will love it. You won't want to leave. So get there as fast as you can. Gentlemen, thanks so much. It's great to see you again. And thank you for spending the time.
Pleasure to do so.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing you in June.
See you in June.
All right.
See you in Brightlands.
You bet. Ronald Otten and Maurice Olivers, the Bright in Brightlands-Limburg. This is Lou Zaccarella. This is the intelligent community, the soul of the city. To learn more about ICF and places like our Smart 21 community, Brightlands-Limburg, go to intelligentcommunity.org. For our producer, Ari Yates, out in Los Angeles, we hope that you remember one thing which these two gentlemen know inherently. There really is no place like home. Take care.